Independent math time sounds great in theory. You give students an activity, pull your small group, and everyone gets exactly what they need. But sometimes reality looks more like this. Where do I write my answers? What do I do next? I'm finished. Can you help me? And suddenly, your small group has turned into a customer service desk. The good news is that first graders absolutely can work independently during math, but independence has to be intentionally built into the activities and routines we give them. In this video, I'm sharing 5 ways to make independent math practice actually work in a first grade classroom. First, let's talk about why this matters. First graders are still learning how to do school. They are learning how to follow directions, manage materials, stay with a task, and figure out what to do when something feels challenging. So, when we teach students to work independently, we are not simply trying to keep them busy. We are teaching routines that make learning possible. And from the teacher side, independent practice gives us something incredibly valuable: time. When students can get started and continue working without constant help, you can pull a small group for addition strategies, work with students who need extra number sense support, conference with individual students, or simply observe what students can really do on their own. And I want to make one thing clear: independent work does not mean a silent classroom. The goal is a classroom where students understand the task, know what to do next, and can solve small problems without needing you every 30 seconds. Now, let's get into the 5 things that make independent math practice actually work. The first strategy is choosing activities that are truly independent. Not every worksheet is actually independent work. A page might look simple to us, but if students need the directions explained 4 times before they can begin, it is not independent yet. When I choose or create an independent math activity, I look for 5 things. First, the directions should be familiar. Students should already know the basic routine. Second, there should be visual support on the page. There might be a 10 frame, counters, pictures, a number line, or another model students recognize. Third, the skills should already have been taught. Independent practice is usually not the best place to introduce brand new math. Fourth, students need a clear finishing point. They should know what complete looks like. And finally, keep the materials simple. Every extra supply is another opportunity for something to disappear into the mysterious first grade void. Here's a quick test you can use. If most students cannot look at the activity and begin within 30 seconds, the activity probably needs more modeling, clearer directions, or stronger visual support. The second strategy is to keep the activity structure predictable. First graders become more independent when activities feel familiar. The math can change, but students should not have to learn a completely new activity format every day. One example I use is number sense color by code activities. Students learn the basic routines once: solve the math problem, find a matching answer, and color according to the code. After students understand that structure, I can change the skill. One activity might focus on counting, another might practice teen numbers, another might use addition or subtraction, but the workflow stays familiar. Students are spending their energy on the mathematics instead of trying to figure out what the directions mean. And that is where independence starts to grow. You are not reteaching the activity every time. You are simply introducing the new math focus and letting the familiar routine do some of the heavy lifting. The third strategy is to build visual supports directly into the activity. First graders are capable mathematicians, but they are still developing the ability to hold several directions and ideas in their minds at once. Visuals become a form of built in coaching. Instead of immediately asking you for help, students can look at the model. For example, if a student is working with the number 8, a 10 frame helps them see 8 as 5 and 3 or 2 less than 10. That visual gives them something to reason from. The goal is not to give students the answer. The goal is to give them enough support that they have somewhere to begin. The fourth strategy is to differentiate the math without constantly changing the directions. This is where we can accidentally make our own lives much harder than they need to be. Differentiation does not always mean creating three completely different activities. Instead, keep the activity format the same and change the level of mathematics inside it. For example, imagine your class is completing the same color by code routine. One group might practice numbers within 5, another might work within 10, another might solve addition problems within 20. Students still know what to do. The routine stays the same. You can also differentiate by changing the amount of visual support. Some students might have 10 frames or pictures included, others might work with fewer models. You are adjusting the mathematics, not building three separate classroom systems. This makes differentiation much easier for you to manage and much easier for students to navigate. And the fifth strategy is to build independence directly into your number sense routine. Independence works best when it is built into the routine from the beginning instead of being added later as something students are suddenly expected to know how to do. That is actually one of the reasons I like repeated number sense structures so much. Students begin to recognize what is expected. They know they may need to look, think, build, draw, share, and record. Over time, you spend less time explaining procedures and more time actually talking about the math. Activities like color by codes can also become part of that system because they give students spiral practice while keeping the students' actions familiar. The skills change, the numbers change, but the routine does not completely reinvent itself every Monday morning. That consistency helps students develop confidence and stamina. And eventually, instead of immediately asking you what to do, they begin using the routine itself to guide them. That is the kind of independence we are trying to build. So, if independent math time has felt more stressful than helpful, start small. Use activities with familiar directions, build in visual support, practice skills students already know, keep the structure predictable, and when you differentiate, change the math before you change the entire routine. You do not need students to become independent overnight. You are building that independence one familiar activity at a time. And if you would like to try this with your students, I added a superhero number sense color by code activity to my free first grade number sense starter library. You can use it to introduce a simple solve, match, and color routine while giving students meaningful number sense practice. The link is in the description below. And if you teach first grade and want more practical, low prep number sense ideas, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next video.